So, hi, how's it going? This is our presentation, calling it Growing Pains, Unintended. And Stefan and I both work in the library, and we have the pleasure and challenge of upgrading a entirely or mostly panels-based Drupal website that was built for us in 2008, 2009. We launched in 2009, and I came in near the, like pretty much near the end of it. And we're now, it was a Drupal 5 site, and we're now trying to move it to Drupal 6 with the eventual goal of making it really easy to move to 7 and then eventually to Drupal 8. Again, I'm Jason Hedrick. This is Stefan. He's my partner in crime in the current project. And this is the site we're talking about. And this is our website. Chances are, I hope you can do it. If not, that's the address. And currently, here's some of the statistics of our site. It's the library's main website. We have it's like a portal off to a lot of resources like online journals and well, all sorts of other things for students to. The collaborative learning environment is there. We have the Canbar Center now for the simulated training and all that. This is the website that will get you to most of the information about that. 300 pages, 1,600 content nodes, about 50,000 visits a month, according to Google Analytics this morning. It's Drupal powered on version 5, and this is basically the staff that maintains it. This part right here is me and Stefan, and then these are some other people that work on it regularly, and then occasionally some other people work on it. Our current implementation, again, is Drupal version 5. We're running about 40 plus contributed modules in total. CCK views and mainly panels for this presentation are probably the most important ones that you guys probably already know. There were 6 custom modules written that contain several thousand lines of code. Most of the site was designed by and built by Chapter 3. And we have a custom theme and MySQL backend with APC and Memcache doing some caching for speed optimization. The current project that Stefan and I are working on is upgrading the site, as I mentioned, from Drupal 5 to Drupal 6. The reasons that we want to do this is to migrate away from the legacy and unmaintained code base. As you may or may not know, Drupal likes to work on the current version, which currently is 7, and 1 version back, so that means our version 5 is retired and unmaintained, so there's not much new feature-rich stuff available for it anymore. That's why we want to retire the obsolete modules, bring the API of the custom code current, and then also to make way for a clean, fast, and easy upgrade to Drupal 7. Because we're learning with this experience that going from 5 to 6, aside from being very little documentation on Drupal 5 stuff, there's even less documentation of going from 5 to 6. The main goal is we want to start using contributed modules instead of writing our own code. There's always a need for your own code to write your own modules, but there's so many well thought out and well done contributed modules coming out, are already out and nicely maintained for 6 that aren't available for 5. We want to make sure that we can take advantage of them. And then we'd like to upgrade to 7, just straight standard Drupal upgrade process if we can, maybe using Drush site upgrade eventually or something to that effect. There's basically 2 ways we could approach doing the site. The first way we tried, this is before Stefan got on board, and since he got on board, it's going a lot smoother, but when I first tried this attempt with another employee who's not here today, we tried to do the standard Drupal core upgrade process, which is explained in the Drupal handbook. And while it's pretty clear, it doesn't work well, especially if you have thousands of lines of custom code. I also attempted to use the Drush site upgrade function, and in combination with the migrate module. But because our site it was built a lot with panels, and while there is a lot of people that embrace panels, a lot of the tools and stuff like the migrate module and Drush site upgrade wasn't really built for panels. So we had to scrap that and move on to the other option for our approach, which is this complete re-implementation. So, Stefan?
Yeah, so sure. So complete re-implementation, what does it mean? First of all, you have to look at which ones of the modules currently in use are still available, which ones have been rolled into core, which ones have been retired completely, and then look for alternatives. It also means that since we are rebuilding the site from scratch, we somehow have to get the data out of the old database into the new one. And another aspect of that is also that we have to rethink our theming, because theming is something that has changed quite a bit from Drupal 5 to Drupal 6. So we scaled this down a little bit. We try to go down now from Drupal 5 to Drupal 6, see how this works out, and then as Jason said, this will hopefully send us on our way on a much smoother upgrade path to Drupal 7. So yes, with this is the approach we're working off of right now, and it's coming along pretty nicely so far. So although it says green here, it's a little bit early, but I think it's going to hold true at the end. So challenges. Obviously, if you go from one major version to the next, there's going to be changes, and with Drupal, the changes have been manifold. So not only have the several core APIs changed, most notably perhaps menus and theming, a lot of the contributed modules also changed. As Jason said, we have about 40 plus contributed modules. Not all of them actually provide an upgrade path from Drupal 5 to Drupal 6. The ones we use quite extensively are panels and views, and in these particular, we're going to get into details of panels in a little bit, but those we basically have to be implemented. So now, of course, with API changes, that means underneath the hood, the database schemas have also changed. In core, for example, the taxonomy and the many tables have at times even in new primary keys, there's new tables. Fields have been moved from one place to another. With the contributed modules, it's the same situation there. So, looking into the database with over 100 plus tables, we had to go and look at pretty much every single table. It's quite a daunting task. So, but let's talk about panels a little bit, because panels is a tool that we use quite extensively to build out our site. I don't know if all of you are familiar with the panels module. Panels is essentially a layout builder. And its main goal is to overcome the restrictions that the load in combination with block systems that is shipped with Drupal core provides. So you can customize the content and in its different positions on a per page basis, and you're not restricted by having the same blocks appear on the same pages over and over again. So this is how Chapter 3 built this site for us. We have 300 pages in the system. Each single one of that is built using basically, although they share the same base layout, it's an individual page with individual components on them. Now going from panels in Drupal 5, which was panels version 1, going to the current version, which is panels 3, you'll notice there's panels 2 missing. Panels 2 was an ill-conceived project that was scrapped pretty fastly after it got rolled out and replaced by panels 3. We're stepping not only one major version, but over 2. And so there are several changes. One of them is that a component library that used to be part of panels has been factored out into its own module called ctools, which also provides core functionality to the views module. The main developer for panels and views is the same person, and so panels 3 also introduces new features. One of them is the mini panels. Think of it as a replacement for blocks. Panel nodes is just an integration point to the node system for panels, and a lot of other features that add to the overall majority of the project have been added, so it can cache content on a per item basis on the page. You can establish relationships between the different sections in your site. You can provide context and then control what appears on the site and what not, and the overall page management has also been revamped. And so, of course, with the added functionality comes complexity. The first thing you'll notice if you look into the database and look at them, there's 3 tables in the database, so they need to be revamped. So, how do we go about it?